Hello, Pisces. How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the rest of November 2024. So in this reading, Pisces, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you regarding the rest of November 2024. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, Pisces, and I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would really appreciate that over here as well. And if you're interested in getting exclusive tarot readings from me and astrology workshops where we can discuss all the things that we can't on YouTube, then consider joining the Mystic Mastermind. The link will be in the description box below this video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and crank into this reading and see what's coming your way for the rest of November. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Pisces. Now, if this is the exact number of cards that I need for the rest of this reading, the Mystic is officially back in groove. Close but no cigar. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's definitely a situation here, Pisces, where you're kind of dealing with a situation that has to do with unconditional love versus owning and honoring your own authenticity or that of someone around you. And it's really important for you at this time to get out of the mind, okay? So before we even get into this reading, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. And these cards contain the energy that you need more of for the rest of November. And the first one is silence. Okay. And the second one is the mind. So I feel like quite simply it's time for you to silence the mind here, because I feel like there's a lot of doubts about your own authenticity, especially when it comes to a certain relationship that you're involved in right now, or that you will be involved in, a primary relationship. I'm getting that it's kind of a romantic thing for many of you, where there's a situation where there's a lot of love in your heart, but there's this question of, yes, but if I evolve into a more authentic version of myself, what's going to happen to this relationship? If they evolve into a more authentic version of themselves, what's going to happen to this relationship? And I feel like there needs to be a silencing of the mind in order to move through this and allow yourself to be fully in your body. The next energy that you need more of is turning in. And this is like the Four of Cups. There's going to be a lot of external voices in your head. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get to you. There could even be literal entities around you when it comes to the rest of November that want to infiltrate your consciousness. And I feel like you have to realize that these are, to a certain degree, thought forms, and you're going to have to silence your mind. You know, there's a lot of chaos, mental chaos, that will lead to emotional chaos here. Because I do feel like there's a lot of thoughts that will scramble your emotions if you're not zen enough. Okay. Now, this is, you know, the benefit of tarot is that these are for increments, and this is for the rest of November. There's going to be a lot of mental chaos that can, quite frankly, very, very easily lead to an unnecessary drama in your life. This is what I'm predicting. If you allow your thoughts to run wild, and you believe in every thought that comes to your mind, and you allow it to stimulate certain negative emotions within you, you may be losing a spiritual battle against yourself or against the universe here. I feel that in your life there's a message that everything is unfolding as it should, that doesn't mean there's not going to be difficulties. But even though there's going to be difficulties for you in November, you need to still focus on what you can control, okay? Because there is a certain leveling up of your own power and your own ability to not care what people think about you, and that includes someone that I feel like is really close to your heart here. And there's a real concern about the evolution of your own fiery soul, the evolution of your own consciousness, about how this is all going to work out, essentially. So your opportunity is the Queen of Wands. See, the black cat on the card shows that she doesn't really care what people think about her. There's an enthusiasm. There's just, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be enthusiastic. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to be fiery. This is your opportunity to get creative here, but not to allow yourself to be overly emotional is what I feel. I feel like it's a time for you to really be royal in your own fashion. And there is a certain element of... There could be your primary partner doing this as well. For some of you Pisces out there, I feel like there's a fear of the evolution of the consciousness of someone around you to a certain degree, okay? Your challenge is the Two of Cups. So yeah, working through authenticity and fire within your own relationship. Now, for some of you, there could be... I feel like there's a challenge where either you or someone that you're in a relationship with has recently got overly mental, overly emotional, that has led to a temporary drought in the passion that you have for each other. And what I'm saying is that there's a relationship that you're in, that there is definitely an ability to reignite the fire within you and within this person, but it's going to involve turning in and avoiding the worst case scenario thoughts. It's going to be getting out of your mind. It's going to be moving more so into silence, despite the fact that it does seem like there are some things that are going to be happening that are out of your control, that you don't see coming, that will lead to a confusion. But that's why you need to be even more prepared with a calm, stable mind is really what I feel. So your overall general energy, and for some of you here, you could be stuck between two different kind of people here, or there could be something going on with this, two aspects of yourself. How do you want to express yourself within the relationship? There could be a split going on here, because your opportunity is the Queen of Wands, and then in your overall general energy, you have the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and also the Lover's card here. So the Lover's card is in your overall general energy. The Two of Cups is in your challenge. So there's clearly some sort of interpersonal relationship. I feel like it's to do with romance here that is kind of giving you a lot of shadow work. It's bringing up a lot of your old trauma that you thought you have already dealt with, and you're gonna have to stare at. Your opportunity is to stare your fire right in the face. Okay, to look it in the face and don't just fall back on, I'll just dim it down and let's just make each other small. And there might be a real fire that you have to walk through with a dignified, silent mind and the ability to really own up to the things that are getting in the way of a harmonious relationship with you and someone. Because the way it feels that there's just kind of like this frequency of sweeping things under the rug, and the universe doesn't want to see that happen. So I understand that this is confusing, navigating this energy. I'm simply doing the best that I can to help you, and I know that it is helping you. So, in what you don't see coming, this is where it gets difficult, and this is where in November there's definitely a little bit of a fiery storm that's going to lead to emotional turmoil within you that the universe is saying that you have to deal with, and it's not going to be good enough to just fall back on your own unconditional love or your own coping mechanisms in order to get through this. There is a real mental thing that you don't want to look at. You may even be in denial about it. Okay, because in what you don't see coming, you have the Five of Wands, the Two of Swords, and also the Seven of Cups. And it seems to be all about relationships, right? Like the Two of Cups is your challenge, the Lovers is in your overall general energy next to the Queen of Cups. So there seems to be there's almost like a lulling to sleep frequency in your relationships, where whether it's you or it's the other person or it's both of you to a certain degree would rather avoid harsh truths to a certain degree, or would rather sweep things under the rug. And what you don't see coming is that there ain't gonna be any sweeping anything under the rug. The Five of Wands has to do with a fight or a competition or training to get better, and looking at yourself. How can I improve every single day? How can I become the best version of myself? And how can I allow the reflections in my reality to make me better? But there could be some sort of denial or refusal of the call to a certain degree when it comes to integrating your own shadow. And then you have the Seven of Cups, which has to do with making a really difficult emotional choice and emotional confusion. I just saw 11:11 as I said that. So you can expect there to be a difficult path that you're going to have to choose here. Because I feel like the old way of just kind of being... it's counterintuitive, because on the one hand I'm saying that you have to be Zen. And I'm saying that you have to silent the mind. But sometimes that... when you silent the mind, that doesn't mean not dealing with problems. That means dealing with them head on in a way that your own BS, your own belief systems, your own emotions don't cloud what's in front of you. Here's what I feel is what's going on. Potentially your own worst fears that you've been trying to avoid will somehow manifest in the rest of November. But those things you have the opportunity to move through. You have the opportunity to actually explore a whole different side of you that may actually be able to fight for a relationship that you want in whatever way you feel called, in whatever way the universe presents that to you. There's definitely a changing of the guard when it comes to a key relationship in your life that will bring confusion. But all I'm saying is that you can't deal with it the same way that you have been dealing with it. It's going to require you to be Zen. It's going to require you to be courageous as well. Like your opportunity, the Queen of Wands, is a courageous energy. Okay? So we're going to clarify that. This is definitely a reading we need to clarify. And then in your advice, you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Four of Swords, and also the Five of Pentacles here. So that's an interesting piece of advice. I do feel like there's like almost a splitting. There could be a split here. In your advice, on the one hand, the Ten of Pentacles is about your long-term financial goals and your legacy. The Four of Swords is about healing and resting. It's definitely about that silence, that tuning in frequency, taking time to heal yourself. But then you have that Five of Pentacles. You also have the Five of Wands in a way you don't see coming. So I feel like there is some sort of like deep change to your physical world here that Spirit's advising you to get ready for. And it doesn't mean anything bad is going to happen. It just means that this is about being on the outside of something that could help you. It's about being on the outside of your own personal truth, because maybe you're afraid of what it would mean to your relationships. And so there's definitely some sort of healing when it comes to the long-term nature of your relationship with someone that maybe you thought you couldn't have your truth and keep this person. And I feel like that's kind of like changing right now. So please bear with me as we navigate this energy. It's definitely a confusing time in your relationships. You're going to have to tune out the noise, go into silence, but still be prepared for a very real moment of truth. For we all must meet our moment of truth. I say, so take it as resonates, leave what doesn't, as always. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify why let's clarify that Nine of Wands. Why is this here in your overall general energy? I feel like there's some sort of intuition that... hold on, I'm actually going to keep going. Yeah, there could be something here with intuition that you feel is going to be like, I should have changed this pattern before. Yeah, you have the Four of Cups and the Five of Wands here. This could be avoidance of bettering yourself, training yourself to become the best version that you really are in order to step into your true truth. I feel like there could be a blanket here, or there could be some sort of frequency where it's an avoidance of some sort of competition or some sort of game that you need to play within a relationship. for some of you here, you may feel wounded, like your partner is playing games with you, but it's very hard for you to detect, and it's like, well, am I supposed to tune this out, or am I supposed to like actually figure this out? I feel like there's definitely a lot of confusion for Pisces, but what else is new there? Okay, and then yeah, I feel like there's an outcome for you that's going to be really great, because the Seven of Cups, like, just what came out on that is the Emperor, the Queen of Wands, the Sun, and the Hanged Man. I feel like there's a solution to this whole thing that's going to be really beneficial to you. I really do feel that. But first, it's almost like you're going to have to fight against your own emotions, or not fight your emotions, but maybe tune into your emotions. Maybe you weren't able to do that before. I don't know. I hope this is making sense. But let's go ahead and clarify the Two of Cups in your challenge. Why is the Two of Cups in your challenge? Five of Cups. Nine of Cups. Strength card. Six of Pentacles. I feel like this is facing some sort of selfishness and lack of even give and exchange within their relationships. The Six of Pentacles here is about giving and receiving. The Strength card is about courage. It's about really navigating your higher self and your lower self. And then the Nine of Pentacles here, the Nine of Cups is about synchronicity and someone kind of being... I feel like this is the strength to realize that there's some sort of imbalance in the relationship that's going to make you very sad. And on the one hand, you're going to have to tune out your worst fears, and you're going to have to tune into silence, but you're also going to have to like face the music, whatever that means for you. Facing the music of the reality of your relationship, or the reality of where your own authenticity is leading you. And it's definitely not an easy time in your relationships, I'll tell you that. I will tell you that, Pisces. Let's clarify why the Seven of Cups is here. I feel like some of you, there's like, I don't want to play games with this person, but to some level you're going to have to like step up to something. The Knight of Wands, Six of Cups, Lovers, Four of Wands. I don't know, hold on. There can be some, I feel like there's confusion in what you don't see coming about like whether or not someone can back up their words here. Confusion about whether or not someone can really back up what they're promising you, because the Knight of Wands is someone who talks a big game but can't always back it up, is very enthusiastic but is also very unreliable. And I feel like there's a fear within yourself that perhaps there's work that you've been refusing to do to yourself that would make you into the kind of reliable partner that can be relied on. That's actually what I am kind of feeling, Pisces. Whether it's you noticing it in your partner or it's you, there's a lack of willingness to work on the self. And I don't mean work on the self, but I mean to return to the true self, in fear that I'll be too much for someone, or they won't like my enthusiasm, or I won't be able to keep up with this person if they're truly authentic. They won't be able to keep up with me if there's something about confusion surrounding a lack of maturity. And for some of you, the real burden here is that you know it's you. You know that you're still discovering yourself. You're still exploring yourself. You still have things to go through. So it's just, for a lot of you, you're in a relationship that's hitting a speed bump because of all the changes going on right now in the world. I really feel like it's about facing your own authenticity, whatever that means for you. And the real, authenticity is all about whatever's on the inside, whatever's going on inside of you, making that external for people to see, so that you're transparent, you're authentic. But there's a difference between being authentic and knowing that's why you're going to have to clear the cobwebs, because there's a difference between reflecting what is truly within you and making that transparent, and that's true authenticity, versus being inundated with mental thoughts that really don't belong to you, ideas that really don't belong to you. Maybe it's making you feel worse about yourself. Maybe it's things that are your biggest self-doubt. Authenticity is not always about sharing those things that don't really belong to you. It's about tuning in, dropping in, letting the lake clear, letting the water clear, to tune into what your truth actually is. And I feel like that would involve confronting some rather painful emotions for you or the person that you're dealing with, that you don't want to build this relationship. You don't want to continue this relationship built on sand. You want to go deep to the rock here. And that's basically the difficulty here. So let's clarify why the Four of Swords is in your advice. Six of Cups. Yeah, there's something about like real, this could have to do with childhood trauma, the Page of Cups, to the, gullibility within the relationship, believing someone when maybe you shouldn't, or having to own up to truths. And you also have the Six of Cups and the Two of Swords in reverse here, Pisces, when it comes to the Two of Swords. So there's definitely some sort of truth, like some sort of conditioning from your past here, some sort of wounding from your past that may be destroying or in it, like giving you the lack of ability to mature, or giving your partner the lack of ability to mature. And I feel like this is all about maturity in this reading, and really creating a legacy that's built on something solid rather than something that could just be faded away. So this is a big test of your mind, heart, and soul. I hope that this reading resonated you in some sort of way. It is all over the place. It definitely is about love. It's about confusion and love, and navigating that and finding the strength to be mature enough to face your demons in your face, but not to confuse things that are being put on you with your own stuff. So it's a very confusing month, but ultimately I think that you're going to be on your way. But make sure that you please give yourself time to silence your mind, at the very least. Okay, so with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.